Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're looking at the best the Final Fantasy franchise has to offer. Number 10. Final Fantasy Tactics. As Final Fantasy's first foray into the tactical RPG genre, Final Fantasy Tactics succeeded as not only its best spin-off, but one of the best games in the series. Directed by Yasumi Matsuno, the man behind the excellent Ogre Battle series, Tactics featured grid-based combat and boasts a wide variety of classes the players can assign their characters to. The game follows the story of Ramza Beove, a cadet who finds himself right in the middle of the War of the Lions, a civil conflict over the throne of Ivalice. With its riveting plot, addictive gameplay, and exceptional presentation, Tactics is a must-play for any Final Fantasy fan. Number 9. Final Fantasy XII. Expanding on Tactics and the world of Ivalice, Final Fantasy XII was a groundbreaking title for the PlayStation 2 that introduced many unique changes to the Final Fantasy formula. Most notable of these changes was the ADB system, which eliminated random battles, instead taking place on the same field the player explored. Accompanying that was the Gambit system, which allowed players to assign fixed commands to its AI party members. The plot itself is the weakest part of Final Fantasy XII, as the protagonist Van was not an important figure amidst all of the politics that were going on. However, the rest of the game more than makes up for it, cementing it as one of the best JRPGs the PlayStation 2 has to offer. Number 8. Final Fantasy XVI. The first Final Fantasy to reach next-gen consoles, 16 is a game-changer in more ways than one. It features high-octane real-time combat, which is extremely reminiscent of the Devil May Cry franchise. The narrative has a much darker and adult tone compared to the rest of the franchise, following the former Prince Clive and his quest to destroy all the Mother Crystals that decay the land. Another highlight is the icon battles, which are out of something you'd see from an episode of Attack on Titan, with its gigantic set pieces and dramatic moments. Number 7. Final Fantasy IV. Without a doubt, Final Fantasy IV is one of the most important entries in the franchise, given the precedents it set going forward. It revolutionized Final Fantasy with its active time battle system and excellent storytelling, something uncommon at the time. It features a party of characters who are determined by the narrative rather than player's choice, creating an interesting dynamic. Key among them is Cecil, the protagonist, whose journey from Dark Knight to Paladin is unforgettable to say the least. Final Fantasy IV is such a gem of a game that it continues to stand out amongst its modern contemporaries, despite its age. Number 6. Final Fantasy X. To say we were all blown away when Final Fantasy X was released back in 2001 is truly an understatement. The PlayStation 2's technology pushed the franchise to new heights, making for visuals that are deemed incredible to this day. The game follows Blitzball superstar Tidus, as he's whisked away from Xanarkand into the world of Spira. Here, he must go on a pilgrimage with the summoner Yuna to defeat the monstrous Sin, a gigantic whale-like beast that terrorizes the land. FF10 was a unique hit and became the first game in the franchise to get a follow-up sequel with Final Fantasy X-2. Number 5. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Hey, how the hell do we fight this thing?
It's got reinforced armor plated, but the internals can be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other option, huh?
Ever since Square Enix showed a tech demo of FF7's opening at E3 2005, fans had been desperate for an updated version of the beloved classic. Fast forward almost 15 years later, and the wish of Final Fantasy VII Remake had finally been granted. Dropping the original's turn-based combat, Remake features a unique blend of real-time action with the ATB bar.
Let me show you how it's done.
Yeah, light 'em up.
So now.
No way.
The game only covers the Midgar section of the story, which had upset some fans. However, it more than makes up for this with shocking narrative changes, leaving room for more hype for its upcoming sequel, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay.
So, you had enough yet?
No, I don't believe that I have.
Number 4. Final Fantasy XIV. The original version of Final Fantasy XIV was an absolute disaster, to such a degree that Square Enix decided to start it back up again from scratch. Taking its place was A Realm Reborn, an upgrade in every way. FF14 has one of the strongest stories in the franchise, with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn fighting against the mysterious Ascians being at its forefront. Gameplay-wise, it has an incredible amount of things to explore and do, like its dungeons and trials, that are so good you'll be wanting to replay them often. Final Fantasy XIV is also notable for its excellent expansion packs, which continue its ever-growing story as well as adding a wide array of new content. Number 3. Final Fantasy IX. The swan song for mainline Final Fantasy on the PS1, Final Fantasy IX is a throwback to earlier games in the franchise, while also maintaining modern improvements from its era. The game stars thief Zidane, who, after kidnapping Princess Garnet, ends up becoming her protector from evil forces. With its outstanding characters, locations, and story, Final Fantasy IX oozes charm. The game also distinguishes itself for being the last game where franchise legend Nobuo Uematsu was the sole composer. Number 2. Final Fantasy VI. For many, this is the best game in the franchise, and it's hard to argue against that. Final Fantasy VI is the complete package and boasts one of the best stories in gaming, supported by a richly developed cast who each have their own personal arcs and goals. Of note is its villain Kefka, the comedic evil clown, standing out as the biggest threat any group of heroes in the series has ever faced. Final Fantasy VI is a timeless classic that needs to be played by anyone even remotely interested in the franchise. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Final Fantasy VIII. Don't let its weird leveling system prevent you from playing this. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. More than just a prequel, this game will break your heart.
The face?
The eyes.
You like them? Then take a closer look.
Final Fantasy XV. Despite its setbacks, the game is still worth your time.
I expected more of a challenge.
Don't let up now. Excellent work. On we go.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII raised the bar for RPGs and made Final Fantasy the mega franchise it is today. Deep in lore, the plot is one of the most beloved in all of video games, still vigorously discussed by fans. And its storytelling is made all the more engaging through a well-written and memorable cast of characters such as Cloud, Tifa, Barret, as well as villain Sephiroth, and a soundtrack that is perfectly tied to its themes and tones. Final Fantasy VII's tracks have never left listeners' hearts and minds, with One Winged Angel remaining a standout. These elements have truly earned Final Fantasy VII its status of masterpiece. It's no wonder then that this entry continues to be the main focus of the company, Square Enix. Which Final Fantasy is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.